Welcome to the Alexa Prize Taskbot Challenge, Grand Finale.
Amazon Alexa Prize is a set of university-based challenges. We want to explore and experiment with the latest and most transformational scientific advances to help invent the future generation of AI assistants. We do this by partnering with academic community and universities for students to be able to innovate in tackling some of the most challenging long-term scientific problems in AI assistance and interactive conversational AI.
The Taskbot Challenge is a competition to let university students build very intelligent and helpful voice-based system to help people make decisions or accomplish tasks, such as cooking or fixing things around the house.
When we are talking about AI assistance, it's a very human-like assistance that we are looking for.
The goal is ultimately to be able to build the technology, the conversational AI technology, to connect the successful Social Bot Grand Challenge to really explore different ways of engaging customers. So this is exactly the kind of interactions that the Taskbots are trying to model.
All universities all over the world could participate in Alexa Prize. And we have had many outstanding universities from Europe and Asia, in addition to many universities in the United States. We do want to get the best and brightest people to work on innovating and exploring new methods and find diverse ways to see what is really possible. We look for those scientific advances and turning them into benefits to Alexa customers.
From around the world, there were 10 teams selected. 5 teams emerged as the finalists. The 5 teams are UC Santa Barbara, a team from University of Pennsylvania, a team from Ohio State, a team from University of Glasgow in Scotland, and a team from Portugal. Ultimately, everybody is working to push forward the state of the art to improve the Taskbot experience as a whole.
Alexa, let's work together.
Welcome to the Alexa Prize Taskbot Challenge, Grand Finale. Here's one of the finalists. Hi, this is an Alexa Prize Taskbot. I know about cooking and home improvement.
Alexa, how can I paint particle board?
Sure. I found several articles in WikiHow. Which one do you want?
Let's do the first one.
Before we get started, please be careful when using any tools or equipment. Remember, safety first. Part 1. Step 1. Remove any hardware or accessories you don't want to paint over.
Alexa, I did it.
Step 2. Sand the board down with 120 grit sandpaper. The lamination or sheen on the particle board will prevent paint from sticking to it.
Okay, go on.
Coat the particle board with a layer of oil-based primer. The most difficult part of painting particle board is getting the paint to adhere to the surface.
Alexa, next step.
Step 4. Give the primer 30 minutes to an hour to fully dry. Your coat of primer needs to be completely dry before you can begin painting the wood.
Students who are competing in Alexa Prize, they have to tackle a number of challenges that are unique to conversational and interactive AI. What makes it even extra difficult compared to many other AI challenges is that everything has to be done in real time. Some of them include just understanding the intent of what the user wants to do and be able to interactively guide the user through instructions in a multimodal way. So that's voice, visual, images, videos, and text. And you present the material in an engaging and helpful manner. The fact that this is interactive and is in real time and needs to be engaging and natural, the way humans work together over hundreds of thousands of years, that makes it extra challenging compared to many other AI challenges.
What kind of paint should I use?
Oil or lacquer-based paints will work best for painting particle boards.
Next step.
Step 2. Let the paint dry for 30 minutes to an hour. Do you want to know the 2 tips for this step?
Yes, please.
Tip 1. If you live in a colder or more humid environment, it may take longer for your paint to dry. It's better to give it more time than it needs to dry than it is to move on while the paint is still wet.
Alexa, thanks for that. We can continue.
Step 3. Apply another coat of paint and let it dry.
Alexa, tell me some details.
With most particle board, it will take between 2 and 4 layers of paint to completely cover the primer.
Alexa, next step.
With your particle board painted and dry to the touch, you can begin putting it back together. You have reached the end of your project. How awesome! I hope you enjoyed my help with how to refinish particle board cabinets and you did it with a robot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Taskbot is particularly challenging, perhaps even more so than SocialBot, and that not only the bot needs to keep track of the state of the conversation like you would in the SocialBot challenge, but also keep track of the state of the task that the user is trying to accomplish. There was a lot of variety of how they chose to handle questions, how they choose to handle navigation, and how they choose to provide the different visual experience to the users, visual and conversational experiences. Using the visual aspect, visual output more strategically or more tactically at each step is something that absolutely we want to encourage the teams to do. And as a result, the outcomes were somewhat different based on the emphasis the teams chose.
Alexa, help me make blondie brownies.
Do you have any diet constraints? Such as vegetarian, fish-free and peanut-free.
Alexa, I am a vegetarian.
I found several blondie brownies recipes that are vegetarian in Whole Foods. Cakesby, Blondie Topped Brownies, Cook's Illustrated's Blondies, and Elsa's Brownies.
Alexa, let's do Cakesby blondie topped brownies.
Cakesby, Blondie Topped Brownies looks appetizing. To begin with, you will need to prepare 19 ingredients, including for the brownie layer. Let's check if all of them are on your hand.
Alexa, scroll down. Alexa, what kind of nuts should I use for this recipe?
You could use any type of nut you like.
Alexa, can I use a peanut? Can I use a pine nut?
Yes, you can use a peanut or a pine nut in this recipe.
Alexa, can I substitute light brown sugar for dark brown sugar?
Yes, you can substitute light brown sugar for dark brown sugar in this recipe.
Alexa, start cooking.
No problem. Let's start cooking. Step 1. Preheat oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Alexa, next.
Step 2. Generously grease the bottom and sides of a large, I used a 3-quart oblong, 9 by 16 inch, baking pan.
Alexa, can I use a glass baking pan or do I need to use a metal baking pan?
You can use a glass baking pan, but I would recommend using a metal baking pan. Metal conducts heat better than glass, so your blondies will likely bake more evenly in a metal pan.
Alexa, next step.
Evaluating the AI and evaluating the interactions and real-time engagement with the AI assistant is very, very difficult and challenging. At Amazon, we take it very seriously, evaluating the teams and their performance during the finals. We want to make sure it's fair and transparent. The judges are kept in separate location. The only thing they can hear and see is the actual bot. And that's really important so they can be an independent judge focusing only on that conversation in completing the task. Strict rules that we have and we maintain throughout the finals.
Step 1 out of 4. Grease pan with butter.
Alexa, remind me, what kind of butter, salted or unsalted?
I would recommend using unsalted butter for this recipe.
Alexa, can I substitute anything for the butter?
Yes, you can substitute margarine or another type of butter for the butter in this recipe.
Alexa, what kind of flour should I use?
Great question. I don't know the answer, but I don't want that to slow us down. I'm really keen to keep going.
Alexa, next.
One of the things we discovered just how important it is for the system to sometimes take initiative and not to passively wait for a user to express their interest. And you can see this throughout the competition, that the bots are driving the conversation forward and not just passively waiting for instructions. What I learned from just observing the bots is how tiny details can completely derail an otherwise really intelligent, smart bot. The users will surprise us constantly, asking for things that deviates from the expected responses, and it's really hard to recover from that.
Step 11. Bake until top is shiny, cracked, and light golden brown, 22 to 25 minutes. Do not overbake.
Alexa, how can I tell when my brownies are done?
Step 12. This
Alexa,
is the last step.
Go to previous step.
Step 11. Bake until top is
Alexa,
shiny.
how can I tell that my brownies are done?
Step 12.
Alexa,
This is the
what are the adjustments for high altitude baking?
There are a couple of things you can do to help with this. The first is to make sure your oven is at the correct temperature. If you have a thermometer, you should be able to measure the temperature of the oven and adjust the baking time accordingly. Another thing to consider is the humidity. At higher altitudes, the air is drier, so you will need to add more moisture to your baked goods to keep them from drying out. This can be done by adding more baking soda or baking powder, or by increasing the amount of water in your recipe.
Alexa, next step.
Step 12. This is the last step of this recipe. Remove bars from pan by lifting foil overhang and transfer to cutting board. Cut into 2-inch squares and serve. Excellent work. Hope you had fun with me today. Say finished if you're all done for now.
Finished.
Okay, thanks for chatting. Bye.
Some of the innovations that blew me away were just how much the state of the art has come in natural language understanding and in question answering. What blew me away is just how intelligent some of the bots are at answering questions. They can really answer difficult questions correctly in the context of the task. Like, can you replace a particular kind of baking pan from a glass to the metal? Or can you replace particular kind of nuts with another kind of nuts? Sort of doing actually pretty difficult reasoning so well that it almost seems like magic, right? It seems almost like wizardry, where really what's going on underneath is fairly sophisticated language models and ingesting knowledge sources and aggregating it to pull out just the right answer at the right time to the user.
Alexa, help me plan a birthday party.
Here are some results for Plan a Birthday Party courtesy WikiHow. The top results are how to plan a birthday party for a friend, how to plan a birthday party, and how to celebrate a 90th birthday party.
Let's do the third one.
Sure, I can help with how to celebrate a 90th birthday party. Step 1 of 20. Recognize if your guest of honor is mobile or requires assistance. Consider both the guest of honor and his or her friends.
Good suggestion. Next step.
Step 2 of 20. Consider transportation to and from the party. Many, though not all, 90-year-olds no longer drive their own vehicles on a daily basis.
Next step.
Step 3 of 20. Remember the interests of the honored guest. While you are planning a 90th birthday party, it does not have to be solely focused on the number 90. Instead, think of the current or past interests of your honoree and see if you can incorporate these into the party. This is a great opportunity to be creative.
One of the key objectives of Amazon Alexa Prize is to build a robust community from students and faculty, researchers, and AI scientists and engineers at Amazon. We do want the best talents wherever they are to be able to come and contribute and innovate. We're continuously looking for new innovations and be able to get inspirations from all the work that has been done in Alexa Prize.
Step 18 of 20. Prepare the guest of honor. On the day of the party, it may be appreciated to help prepare your guest of honor for their special day by going out of your way to make sure they feel their best. If the honoree is a woman, consider taking her to get her hair done or nails painted before the party. These simple beauty splurges can make her feel special on her special day.
What is another example of something I can do to help them feel special?
Decorate for the party. Many card stores, or party stores, will sell 90th birthday themed items. Even a simple hat for the honoree can make them feel special.
What kind of hat?
A hat that can make them feel special. Should we resume working on the task?
Yes.
Step 19 of 20. Give a toast. Attending their 90th birthday party is a great time to let the guest of honor know how much he or she means to you. Make it a true toast. You don't want to be left with a silent room when you propose toasting your honored guest.
That makes sense. Next step.
This is the last step. Create a souvenir book. This will help your honoree to remember his or her special day. Ask all in attendance to sign the book and to leave a little message to the birthday celebrant. Contact those who will be attending beforehand, and ask them to bring a favorite picture or a favorite letter to put in the book. When you're finished, you can say complete to finish the task.
Complete.
Nice job. It was a pleasure working with you.
The Alexa Prize provides a really valuable experience to the students and faculty, but mostly the students who get experience working with real customers, process thousands of conversations, get the freedom to really explore different ways of engaging customers, to run experiments on real data. To work with it speeds up innovation. The wide variety of Amazon customers that engage with the bots is just not possible to find in a lab, right? It's impossible to recruit, 20 people to represent the variety or diversity of the people that interact with the bot. There is no substitute for experience with working with real users and real data.
Alexa, let's make beef chow fun. Do you have the recipe?
Here's what I found in Whole Foods Market for beef chow fun. The top options are beef chow fun and beef chow fun, beef ho fun.
Alexa, I'd like to make the first one.
Couldn't have made a better choice myself. The recipe beef chow fun has a 3.7 star rating. Takes about 30 minutes. And serves 4. What is a recipe without its ingredients?
Alexa, tell me the ingredients.
Beef chow fun uses so many ingredients you'll feel like a true chef. It has 16 ingredients, but I am sure it is worth it. They are on the screen.
Alexa, what's the difference between soy sauce and dark soy sauce?
Dark soy sauce is made from soybeans that have been fermented for a longer period of time. It has a higher concentration of soybean oil, which is what gives it its dark color. Soy sauce made with regular soybeans is called regular soy and is often used in Asian cuisines, such as Japanese and Korean.
Give me another fun fact.
Okay, I also love fun facts. Here it goes. Microwaving is the healthiest way to cook vegetables. I love sharing these facts.
Alexa, why is microwaving the healthiest way to cook vegetables?
Microwaves don't heat the food, they heat up the water molecules in it. This causes them to vibrate, which is what causes the heat. This vibration is good for your body, because it causes your cells to produce more energy. To continue working, say, resume or next step. I am sure you are doing a stellar job.
Next step.
Although we call Alexa Prize competition, in my view, it's really a co-opetition. It's really amazing to see them achieve so much in a short time. They have been inspiring to many people as they learn and grow and contribute to the state of the art in conversational AI. At the end of the day, it's really a co-opetition for collaboration, cooperation, and competing together.
Step 11. Then add in the noodles and the sauce mix at the same time and stir the noodles with the sauce. Use the sauce to soften up the noodles more, and keep moving the noodles around so it doesn't sit too long against the pan, else it might stick to it. Cook it for about 1 to 2 minutes or until it looks soft.
Alexa, should I worry about overcooking the noodles?
No, you don't need to worry about overcooking the noodles. Just be sure to follow the recipe instructions and you'll be fine. After all, cooking is all about trial and error. So, go ahead and experiment.
Alexa, continue.
Step 12. Throw in the bean sprouts and green onions and the cooked beef and quickly toss it into the noodles and turn off the heat.
Alexa, next step.
Step 13. Continue to toss everything together and let the bean sprouts and green onions cook with the residual heat from the pan. Remove from pan, serve and enjoy.
Alexa, can I cook it and serve it the next day?
Yes, you can cook it the next day. How are the bean sprouts coming along?
The bean sprouts are doing well. Alexa, should I use fresh bean sprouts if I cook it the next day?
I would recommend using fresh bean sprouts if you cook it the next day. They will have a better flavor and texture.
Alexa, is there anything else you can tell me about this recipe that might make it more fun to prepare or serve to my guests?
Well, one fun way to serve this recipe is to make it into a fun and festive dish. For example, you could turn it into a Halloween-themed meal by adding some spooky decorations. I had fun working with you today. I hope I can help you again soon. Okay, thanks for chatting. Bye.
So this was the first year of Taskbot, and the teams did a great job. Over the past 5 years, there has been tremendous amount of transformational scientific advances as a result of Alexa Prize. AI, and in particular conversational AI and AI assistance, is going to benefit the humankind. This is a really unique, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for university students to participate and help invent the future of AI assistance.